Hello, my name is Danielle Richards, and I am the Center Director at our St. Paul Highland Park location. My school has been on our conscious discipline journey for the past 4 years. Today I would like to specifically share with you about how we build our school family. I believe in transparency, and we all know that the last few years have been extremely challenging with COVID, with staffing, enrollment, all of it. But it has also given us an incredible opportunity to develop ourselves as vulnerable leaders through the lens of conscious discipline. I invite you today to be vulnerable and reflective, and I hope you walk away with tools to build yourself as a leader and a school family.
It's been said that in a completely rational society, the best of us would be teachers, and the rest of us would have to settle for something less, because passing civilization along from one generation to the next ought to be the highest honor and the highest responsibility any one of us can have. I speak in school communities all over the country, and many times people will ask, who's the most important group you speak to? Is it high school students, elementary students, middle school students? And all of those students are important, but you can make a very strong argument that the most important group that I speak to isn't students at all. It's teachers. I've met in my time thousands of teachers, classroom teachers, counselors, office administrators, FIED teachers, librarians, anybody who works in a school that has an ability to impact kids, in my mind, is a teacher. And what I've learned is that you didn't get there by accident. That you felt the special tug on your heart, and that tug said to you at some point, you are uniquely designed to impact, influence, and inspire a young person's heart, soul, and mind. And you said yes to that calling. So often teachers get bogged down in the day-to-day, and what they got into the work for ends up not being the work that they actually do, and they get burnt and they get drained and they're ready to quit. I've seen teachers as early as 6 months ready to throw in the white flag and say it's all over. They don't feel like their work matters, but it does, and I can say it firsthand. Our family actually got an email from a school nurse, a teacher in her own right, about 3 years ago, and the email read something along the lines of, I don't know how to quite say this, but your daughter, who was in 3rd grade at the time, is coming in and seeing me quite a bit, and there's some very strong red flags that I have as a nurse that she's struggling with some sort of anxiety or maybe even childhood depression. The nurse was absolutely right. And the last 3 years, my wife and I and my daughter have been in and out of counseling and therapy and psychiatrists, questioning medicine in 4th grade. Sophia missed 25 days of school because of this stuff. There were days where she couldn't even get out of bed. And I honestly don't share that to make you sad or to make you depressed, because the truth is so many of you have had harder stories or more difficult things in your life than that. I share that with you because you need to understand that only 1 year later in 5th grade, Sophia missed 0 days of school, and it wasn't because of a doctor, and it wasn't because of myself or medication. It was because of her 5th grade teacher, Miss Patty. Miss Patty single-handedly changed the game for Sophia and our entire family. And what I need you to hear is that you are the Miss Patties for so many of the students that walk into your classroom, and sometimes you know the ones you're impacting and sometimes you don't. But as a parent and as somebody who just deeply cares about young people, I need you to remind yourself that the work you do matters. The ripple effect that you have in the lives of these kiddos goes further than your eyes will ever see. So, if nothing else, I just want to say thank you. Thank you for stepping up and saying yes to that tug that you got on your heart so many years ago. Thank you for saying yes to the highest honor and the highest responsibility any one of us could have. Thank you for passing civilization forward. You have the most important job on this planet. and we need you today more than ever.
We have all been called to do these jobs. Whether we moved up from teaching within the company, moved to New Horizon from a competitor that we knew just was not doing the best for children, or any number of reasons. But we have all felt the calling to be in this field. And I think that sometimes we get bogged down with the day-to-day of the job, and we forget the pull behind that calling and why we chose to enter this field. We have spent some time learning about our Enneagram numbers and how that affects our leadership styles. I am an Enneagram 8, and for those of you who know anything about 8s, we are pretty guarded. There are also many other numbers that have similar characteristics. We have huge hearts, but vulnerability and trust are really hard for us. This is something that I have had to actively work on throughout the last few years in order to build my school family. How many times have you bought pizza, rewarded with other things, and yet nothing changes? Creating a compassionate school culture is much more than a pizza party or team building activities once a month at a staff meeting. It comes from the basic building blocks of all relationships, safety and trust. We must use our daily interactions, even conflicts, to build that safety and trust within our staff. A school family will allow members to let down their guard and truly connect. In order to do this, we must first be able to connect with ourselves as leaders. Please spend the next 15 minutes reflecting on the following slides questions about yourself as a leader and what you need each day in order to be vulnerable and ready. Now that you've had time to reflect on your own needs to feel connected to your role, we need to figure out how to connect with the staff. We cannot possibly meet the needs of every staff member in the building, but we can create a place of trust and be a driving force of consistency for staff. That means meeting staff where they are at and encouraging them to make consistent growth. We need to stop shoulding the staff, but instead we need to start looking at teachers' success as they do in a football game, one first down at a time, making it down the field in order to score the touchdown. The completion or the touchdown is the goal, but it is also about the perseverance and making the effort. Sometimes this can lead to hard conversations needing to happen. The clear is kind approach allows us to create the consistency that staff need from us to be as leaders, but it also allows us to grow trust among each other. How many times have you heard that you play favorites on staff surveys or been accused of not being as hard on someone? Dr. Brene Brown's Braving Inventory creates 7 elements to help provide the consistency that staff crave. This helps build safety and ultimately trust. What I have learned through practicing the clear as kind approach, along with the Braving Inventory, is that it not only builds trust through a consistent approach, but it also allows empathy, even when it is an uncomfortable conversation. Please spend a couple minutes reviewing the Braving Inventory elements on the next slide and your handout, and reflect on what you do well and what areas you would like to improve on. The 7 elements of the Braving Inventory can be used as a conversation guide to be clear, consistent, and ultimately build trust. Commitment to your team means to step out and be seen. These commitments fail when we are afraid to be seen as wrong. We fail to form our commitments out loud because we are fearful of not being able to follow through, because often we are so busy putting out all the fires in our centers. We need to be brave enough to step out, make the commitments, and build a team around us that helps keep those commitments. Build a team that is based on trust, and realize that you don't have to be the end-all and be-all to everyone in your center. You have to be willing and able to give the staff back their beach ball. One of the hardest lessons I learned early in my conscious discipline journey was pointed out by the lovely Jessie when I was explaining how hard I was trying to make myself available to the staff, trying to listen, trying to solve problems. She practiced clear as kind with me and said, "Danielle, you need to give them back their beach balls. You are trying to carry all of your staff's beach balls, and now you are so overwhelmed that you are just punting them back at them." It made so much sense once she said that to me. So how are you going to choose to connect with your staff while ultimately holding accountability and boundaries? As leaders, it can feel scary to be vulnerable to our staff. We want to appear confident and ready for anything, but we also have to allow others to see us as human beings. It is a good leader who will take time and say, "You know what? I need some time to think about that." Or, "I want to be able to give you the best answer, so I need some time." But then we must follow through. Things that feel big to other staff may not feel big to us, but we have to create that sense of safety and trust. And that only comes through with the follow through. It shows that we are committed to them, their position, their roles. Sometimes this may lead to uncomfortable conversations. I encourage you to learn about Rumble language. You have a handout that has some key phrases that can help you through difficult conversations. I find that these phrases allow you to be more empathetic to the needs of your staff, especially when you find yourself needing to be a little more curious rather than judgmental about where they are coming from. How many times do you respond rather than practice active listening? Do you practice the pause? Do you feel safe enough to not have the answers every time? The following video explains the difference between empathy and sympathy. Empathy is what is going to be the driving force of connection between you and your staff. It allows you to stay out of judgment. One of the biggest things I've learned is that sometimes staff are not looking for a solution. And when you can sit in the uncomfortable with them, the stronger your connection becomes with them.
So what is empathy, and why is it very different than sympathy? Empathy fuels connection. Sympathy drives disconnection. Empathy, it's very interesting. Teresa Wiseman is a nursing scholar who studied professions, very diverse professions where empathy is relevant, and came up with 4 qualities of empathy. Perspective taking, the ability to take the perspective of another person or recognize their perspective as their truth. Staying out of judgment, not easy when you enjoy it as much as most of us do. Recognizing emotion in other people and then communicating that. Empathy is feeling with people. And to me, I always think of empathy as this kind of sacred space when someone's kind of in a deep hole and they shout out from the bottom and they say, "I'm stuck, it's dark, I'm overwhelmed." And then we look and we say, "Hey, you can climb down. I know what it's like down here, and you're not alone." Sympathy is, "Ooh, it's bad, no, you want a sandwich?" Empathy is a choice, and it's a vulnerable choice, because in order to connect with you, I have to connect with something in myself that knows that feeling. Rarely, if ever, does an empathic response begin with "at least." And we do it all the time. Because you know what? Someone just shared something with us that's incredibly painful, and we're trying to silver lining it. I don't think that's a verb, but I'm using it as one. We're trying to put the silver lining around it. So I had a miscarriage. Oh, at least you know you can get pregnant. I think my marriage is falling apart. At least you have a marriage. John's getting kicked out of school. At least Sarah is an A student. But one of the things we do sometimes in the face of very difficult conversations is we try to make things better. If I share something with you that's very difficult, I'd rather you say, I don't even know what to say right now. I'm just so glad you told me. Because the truth is, rarely can a response make something better. What makes something better is connection.
How many times do we put labels on ourselves, on our staff, on the parents, and even the children? When we place judgment, we do not leave room for compassion. But what if the staff, the parents, the kids, even ourselves, knew that we were, in that moment, in a safe place, a trusted place? How would that change how we could interact and be in the world? The ultimate goal of the school family is to create an environment where mistakes can happen, feelings can be both big and safe, and we allow compassion for one another. Sometimes we need to be the ones that show the people in our lives how they can be viewed differently. For example, we always refer to ourselves as a school, as professional educators. That alone sets a different tone for our company as a whole. We do incredible work with incredible people who bring a variety of qualities to the table. Instead of judging some of these qualities, I encourage you to be curious about them. Knowing each staff member's Enneagram is a great introduction to finding different strengths and areas of opportunity to know about. How many of the staff that irritate you or intimidate you could actually be leaders in their own ways? Are they missing skills, or do they not feel connected to the school or you?
I get it. All of this is easier said than done, especially for those of us that love control. But what I can tell you is that there is such a freedom that comes with letting go of some of the things we hold on to. When we give ourselves permission to let go of some of our hard things, we also give permission for our staff to do so. When we as a collective can be vulnerable and curious, we open ourselves up to an incredible opportunity for self-growth that leads to a stronger community. No center is perfect. Everyone will have turnover, hard kids, etc. But with a strong school family, it is easier for new staff and children to understand and acclimate into the school agreements because it has already been set up as a helpful, supportive environment.
I want to take some time to share how we have built our school family. Some of these are ideas you probably already do, but may not necessarily think of as building your school family. Many of you have amazing ideas that you haven't been able to implement yet. I challenge you to take the time to make your ideas happen. They will bring you the joy juice that you need to continue to feel called to do this job. We had families come in and make kindness rocks to put into our center's garden. This not only creates time for families to come together with their child in the center, but also allows the children to watch as the garden grows around their rocks. They have a fun time looking for their rocks and taking care of the garden together.
We know that kids always smile best with us. We recently started creating our own photo backdrops for the kids' photos and having teachers have an assigned day for taking pictures of the kids. This has created a lot less stress when it comes to picture day. It has also allowed moments of connection to happen. It has allowed a moment of connection between children and teachers. The kids and parents get to pick out outfits together, and then the teachers and parents get to connect about the photos that are taken. For the holiday season, we were able to gift each parent a photo based on the amazing printing deals around the holiday season. Sharing these moments is priceless for both staff and parents. Giving parents and staff moments to connect together is important for the school family. This past year, we have done a Jolly Pops concert, invited an ice cream truck, and invited families to a school picnic. These opportunities allow us time to view ourselves as a diverse school community. The world is so busy, and giving parents and teachers moments to slow down and connect together with the kiddos they both love is a very special opportunity. Staff being able to see you as a person outside of your role is important. It reminds them that you are a human being who makes mistakes, likes to have fun, and perhaps can see you in different roles, such as a partner or a parent. We try to do quarterly staff events where staff come together with their families to try to have time together. The school family also involves the larger community. Inviting in community members allows the connection to form between the school and those that may protect it within the community. They are usually more than willing to come out and have some fun with the kids. Between all the reports, the emails, all the things on our to-do list, we sometimes forget to do the things that bring us joy. But it is the things that bring us joy that remind us why we were called to take these positions. These moments connect and build our school family. Dig in the garden, play in the shaving cream, snuggle a baby, be spontaneous, and have the hard conversations. This will have an incredible influence on your building.
I think we all need a pep talk. The world needs you to stop being boring. Yeah, you. Boring is easy. Everybody can be boring, but you're gooder than that. Life is not a game, people. Life isn't a cereal either. Well, it is a cereal. And if life is a game, aren't we on the same team? I mean, really, right? I'm on your team, be on my team. This is life, people. You got air coming through your nose. You got heartbeat. That means it's time to do something. A poem. Two roads diverged in the woods, and I took the road less traveled. It hurt, man! Really bad. Rocks, thorns, and glass. My pants broke. Wah! Not cool, Robert Frost. But what if there really were two paths? I want to be the one that leads to awesome. It's like that dude Journey said, don't stop believing, unless your dream's stupid. Then you should get a better dream. I think that's how it goes. Get a better dream and keep going. Keep going, and keep going. Will Michael Jordan have quit? Well, he did quit. No, he retired. Yeah, that's he retired. But before that, in high school, what if he quit when he didn't make the team? He would have never made Space Jam. And I love Space Jam. What will be your Space Jam? What will you create will make the world awesome? Nothing if you keep sitting there. That's why I'm talking to you today. This is your time. This is my time. It's our time. We can make every day better for each other. If we're all on the same team, let's start acting like it. We got work to do. We can cry about it, or we can dance about it. We were made to be awesome. Let's get out there. I don't know everything. I'm just a kid. But I do know this. It's everybody's duty to give the world a reason to dance. So get to it. You've just been pep talked. Create something that will make the world awesome. Play ball. Oh, hi everybody. We're all working hard to make this an awesome year for other people. And you guys are doing it. You've been super encouraging to me, so I want to return the favor. Who you know who needs some encouragement? Pass this pep talk along and let's get the whole world to dance. I'm dedicating this video today to my friend Gabby. She's a cool kid, she likes playing games, and she's fighting cancer like a boss. And to all you watching, who encourages you? Send them this video and let them know. So get to it.